Hi, I'm Melanie Lang here with MILAM TV, and I'm here with Col Anders-Brown, and very excited to have him with us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
So before we get started, can you tell us about what your group does?
Sure. What my group does is fairly simple in defence terms. We prepare the UK defence procurement agencies for the acquisition of novel technologies, which is a strange place to be here at MILAM because it's a known technology, but in UK defence it's not been proliferated in the same way that it has in the US. And so my role is to really publicise and make known the benefits of additive manufacture throughout the supply chain. And so my group it doesn't specialise only in additive manufacture, it's also in robotics, artificial intelligence, etc. So we do a lot of different technologies and a lot of work to prepare the novel things coming into defence.
That's really exciting. And I understand you have a couple very interesting projects that you're working on, one of which has the namesake from this show. So can you tell us a little bit about those projects?
Yeah, we do. The project you're referring to is Project Tampa, and it was named after this event. Project Tampa is the UK Defence's stimulation of the industry in order to collaborate with industry partners in a leader-follower type scenario. We recognise that we're going to be following in a lot of instances in this technology, so it's really about collaboration from the offset, and we do that with Project Tampa by stimulating the market financially, but also through information collaboration and therefore feeding market intelligence in order to create a relationship whereby industry partners can understand what it is that we want in detail and in depth with military advisors. So that we get the product we want rather than the product we think we need. So that's a great position to be in. Tampa works over 3 years currently, and we're working in 4 spirals. Spiral 1 is to create a supply chain part, put it into the inventory with all the intellectual property rights, with the assurance, with the OEM sign-off, with everything that you would need to have that as a regular part. And that's for a non-safety critical part. Spiral 2 is the same thing but with a safety critical part, so overcoming the blockers that are associated with that. And then concomitant is Spiral 3 and 4, which are the same rotation, non-safety critical, safety critical, but in a deployed location, with the ultimate aim for us being our ability to deploy onto the far bank, a print farm, print factory, and have spare parts printed at the point of need, rather than going over some kind of fractious or unstable pipeline. Yeah.
That's outstanding. And are there any other projects that you can share that you're working on that you're excited about?
Yeah, we are. Really excited about Project Target. So if Tampa is the first 3 years, that's about stimulating the marketing and enabling that growth. Project Target is about how we instill that as the norm, the new norm in defence procurement. So we're looking to aim for up to 30% of the defence inventory, which is designed for additive and therefore is able to be printed additively. And then you really got to think about how you do that, because they've got to be the right 30%, right? They've got to be the battle-winning parts. So we've got a little bit of work to do on that, but the target over the next few years is to increase that supply chain resilience by designing and procuring new systems which are not only designed for but able to be 3D printed. So that's Project Target, and that's a great incentive. It's the first time really that UK Defence has taken the Tempest model and applied it routinely, so it becomes business as usual rather than something niche or specific.
Yeah, that's really interesting, and it sounds pretty amazing that you're bringing all that technology, to the UK and have projects to implement it. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, cool.
So I'm guessing since you named one of your projects after this show, it must be something that you really enjoy participating in.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you talk a little bit about why you love coming to this show?
Sure.
And what sort of inspired you to name the project after the show?
Yeah, so myself and my colleague have been coming here this is our third MILAM. We did the first one in 2019, and then we took a break for COVID, and then we did 22, 23. And we keep coming back, not only because it's just a great mix of industry and military, but also there's an openness here in the US, which we don't have the same openness in the UK, unfortunately. But with industry supporting the warfighter and the warfighter, speaking to industry in open environments, it creates an environment where we can really get to the heart of the problem and work out how we're going to fix that. And it's great as well to speak to our US colleagues. I meet with quite a few of my senior officers to talk about incentives which are going on in the US military and work out how we can best collaborate and share information. And that works both ways. It's great to be able to take learning from experience and lessons from the US, but equally, we're able to focus really in on some niche areas as the UK, which we can then feed back into the US and hopefully, have that partnership which goes both ways. So we love it here. Like I said, we started off myself and my colleague, and I think now the UK contingent is 15 of us have come. And it's great as well to see other nations. I've just been talking to a German colleague. There was a Swiss colleague I was talking to earlier as well. So it's a fantastic multinational event.
That's awesome to really see it expand internationally. And like you said, invite that collaboration and information sharing and technology sharing where you can. That's really exciting.
That's right.
So it sounds like, since it's a good show for you, you'll probably be back next year.
Definitely.
Hopefully with even a larger contingent.
Absolutely.
What will you be working on in this next year?
So I think for us, the next year is on two things. One is Project Tampa, and it's that metal AM safety critical bits. The second is the digital inventory. We've listened to some fabulous lectures over the last day and a half, which have just reaffirmed in our heads that all of this technology, all of this ability to print is for naught if you can't store it somewhere and if you can't access it, and if it's not shareable more widely. So I think we're going to invest some time into looking at potential NATO sharing softwares or communication systems and what those platforms look like, and really sort of get under the skin of what it is that we need so that we are information rich rather than data rich.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, sir, for talking to us today, and
My pleasure.
look forward to seeing you next year.
Great, lovely, thank you.